One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. To let me be free. From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart of steel and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar. Insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he paves his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
Man, oh man, we have somehow made it to a Monday morning. Great to see everyone in the chat, man. Feels ultra good to be a G. All right, listen up, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot to discuss. There was a fuck ton of stuff that happened over the weekend. And, you know, for me, I actually don't like that. I don't like that I've got a million things that I've got to cover and discuss over, you know, over the weekend, what happened. But nonetheless, that's what we do here. So, anyways, the way that I have this titled is Rob Reiner and wife found dead. Now, he's also, if you guys don't know who he was not necessarily a filmmaker, but a director, was an actor himself. But I guess him and his wife were found dead at their home or something like that. We're going to figure it out together. And then Brown University shooting. So a lot of shootings happened over the weekend, too, and we're going to talk about all of them. And then Bondi beach attack down there in Sydney, Australia. Terrible fucking ordeal down there. Radical acts of violence and terrorism. And more, of course, that's how I put it. But so let me go ahead and read off chronologically what we're going to cover this morning before we get into it. So, U.S. troops were killed. Trump warns of retaliation after Syria ambush attack. Some crazy shit did indeed happen over the weekend. NYC Macy's attack. Shopper stabbed while changing baby in bathroom. Are you serious? Homeless woman accused of stabbing tourist inside NYC Macy's bathroom was released from psych hospital morning of attack. So the person in question that did this, well, allegedly, right, had just come out of a psych hospital the morning of that same fucking attack.
Bruh.
Insane. We just let this shit happen. And then, of course, what was going on with Brown University. We have the breaking story of this. Brown University reports active shooter on campus. Of course, I'm sure that you guys saw this over the weekend with at least some of these shootings. Okay, moving on. Trump says he has been fully briefed on Brown University shooting. Trump vows retaliation after 3 Americans were killed in Syria. And then at least 11 killed in attack on Sydney Hanukkah event. Now, that's what's the name of that beach? Bondi Beach. That's what the Bondi Beach attack was, by the way. Okay, so I'm going ahead here. Let's see what else is here. Schumer demands action on AI price gouging.
Bruh.
Good luck with that, Schumer. Like AI and many other things are already out of the genie, the genie bottle or whatever. You guys we're fucked in a lot of aspects. There's no way that we're going to be able to put it away, kind of thing. We're fucking stuck with AI. We're stuck with a whole bunch of shit. And we're going to have to deal with it accordingly. I don't know if legislation and all of that is going to do much for AI, but we'll see. Person of interest in custody after Brown University shooting investigation does continue. Also, a very interesting thing. I'm pretty sure that some of you guys also saw on social media that there is a chance that marijuana can be dropped down from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3, and it would be considered basically and treated like any other prescription drug, essentially. So that is very interesting, and sometime they said as early as Monday morning, which is today, that he could be signing some sort of executive order regarding that. And because of that leak, I guess ABC leaked that or whatever, cannabis stocks surge after reports that Trump may reclassify the drug this week. Yeah, absolutely. I would figure as much as well. Brown University shooting, another update on that. Person of interest is released. We do have, I guess, those images. And then regarding Rob Reiner, wife found dead in Los Angeles home. So both of them were found dead in the LA home. And that's basically what our lineup is for the morning so far. So we've got a lot to discuss, a lot of shit that we got to get to. Let's go ahead and quickly do our call to actions and get right into this shit. As you guys just heard, I have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stories this morning to get through. So make sure you guys hit that like button. It helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so. If you guys are brand new to the show, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button because it's also free. But here comes the money part. Please consider becoming a member, starting only at $2.99 a month. We're making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with anybody. But check it out. This is what allows us to be, on these airwaves as well as have these lights on. So I very much appreciate you guys becoming members and staying members. Little side note here, follow my Instagram at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, breaking news, our political campaign, us being on the campaign trail. All of it is right there, so make sure you guys go and follow that. We also have a Discord server for all of you fucking legends. Make sure you guys join up on that. One of the moderators will go ahead and drop you a server link. And if not, just go ahead and go down to the video description down below of any live video that we do. And of course, I have all those links that you guys need. All right, last but not least, all super chats, super stickers, gifted membership signups are, of course, all going to be presented live and shouted out onto the show. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned cash, we have these platforms right here that you guys can donate to. And of course, I'll read out whatever donations come our way. And I've got my email up, so we're ready to go. If anything does come through, I'll see it right away. All right. Good morning to all you legends, man. Great to see all of you guys. We got Papa Penguin in the building, as well as Steve Easy. We got Charles Darwin from Down Under over there in Australia. Great to see you, by the way. We got Naomi and Easy Frank, Frank, my man. Great to see you in the chat as well. Let's see here. I'm scrolling down as fast as I possibly can. We got KP as well as Sick Bastard. Yes, sir. And we got Motobomb Virginia and Brother Glare. Great to see you. Rabbit of Chaos, good morning to you. We got Lappy as well as Todd J. Great to see all of you legends. Wicked Wally in the building. Yes, sir. Always appreciate you. Great to see you in the chat. Ghost as well. Good morning to you. Alfred. Yes, sir. We're doing this shit, man. We're doing this shit. We're definitely starting the week off with something, at least trying to be in the right mindset for the week, right? So that's exactly what we're doing. Let's see. We got Jimmy Mack saying Meathead. Yes, that was his nickname from one of the movies. I forget which one it was, but nonetheless, the dude was known as Meathead for the rest of his fucking life, basically. So yes, rip Meathead. All right. Let's see who else we got in here. Let's see who else. I'm trying to catch up. We got a Gorilla Piss in the chat as well as Wildcard. Great to see you as well. And Ruby says AI is gay as fuck. I hear you. I totally get you. I'm scrolling down. We got Josh Phillips in the building as well saying, what's up, Mike? Stay blessed. Yes, sir. We are absolutely doing the damn thing. Great to see you and stay blessed as well. We got Tiffany Lance as well. Good morning to you. We got TVT as well. Good morning. All right. We got Brother Pitbull over there in fucking the UK, man. Always appreciate having you in here as well. Prez in the building as well as Miss Lotus. Good morning to you guys. All right. We got to get right into this. We got too many damn people in here, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Helps out the show. Thank you, guys. Let's see what's happening on this little clip right here that we're about to bring up. I thought I had it up already, which I didn't. Let me go ahead and reshare this. And let's see if we can hear anything from this, because this is Trump walking out to, like, by where Air Force One is or whatever, and he gives a brief statement. We're going to find out. How come we can only hear it from the left ear? That's weird.
So we mourn the loss of 3 great patriots in Syria.
Oh my God, the guy's tapping the microphone now.
You know how it happened? There was an ambush, terrible. We also have 3 wounded that seem to be doing pretty well. But we mourn the loss. These are 3 great people. And it's just a terrible thing. Syria.
What's up, Dylan Patterson? Great to see you in the
By
chat,
way,
man.
Fighting along with us, the new president of Syria is, as they told me, and I'm not surprised, he's devastated by what happened. This was an ISIS attack on us and Syria. And again, we mourn the loss and we pray for them and their parents and their loved ones.
Isn't he over there by Air Force One right now, or is he right now over by Marine One? Because I did say Air Force One, and I was thinking the plane.
Very sad.
Mr. President, will the U.S. retaliate against ISIS?
Yeah, we will.
And will the U.S. further attack again?
I really didn't. Honestly, the volume and the mics are so fucked up that I really didn't catch much out of what Trump just said there. I'm going to be totally real. So let me read this. 2 U.S. Army soldiers were killed along with an interpreter in an ambush attack in Syria. And that also wounded several other military members. President Donald Trump was asked about the attack as he exited the White House on Saturday afternoon en route to the Army-Navy game. He told reporters, "We will retaliate." Yes, I believe that full-heartedly, that he will do that. Facts. But anyways, the video and the audio on this is so garbage that we're just going to move on because I can't stand audio that sucks like that, you know. All right, we're going to move on. NYC Macy's attack. There was a stabbing. Shopper stabbed while changing baby in the bathroom. And I guess that person that got stabbed was some sort of tourist. And a homeless woman is being accused of doing the stabbing and was supposedly released from the psych hospital the morning of that fucking attack.
Bruh.
Incredible. Incredible. Let's go ahead and bring this up and we'll go ahead and talk about it briefly.
Take a look at this right here on your screen. This is from the New York Post. As you can see, a homeless woman, they say, is accused of stabbing a tourist inside of a bathroom. Now, she's been released from a psych hospital.
Interesting, Blair.
The morning of that attack. There is so much information that is coming in here. I do want to bring in CB Cotton. She is with Fox News and has been following the story as all of this happening in a very busy area. CB, thank you so much for being here. What do we know? What don't we know at this point?
Hey, Josh. Well, thanks for having us. So
why is it stuck like that? Okay, there we go.
Thankfully, one of the big takeaways is that the mother and her baby's father were able to fend off the attacker inside this Macy's. This is normally, it should have been a festive time for this mom who was traveling and visiting from California, a time where she could come inside this store.
Yeah, DJ, sucks that you're here on my YouTube channel, on my content. And it's crazy that you're like, bro, it's adding too much. How about you get the fuck out of here, loser?
Do some holiday shopping, but
Stupid
things
ass.
quickly turned into a life or death situation when police say the suspect, Carrie Ahern of Massachusetts, came inside the bathroom and started stabbing this mother. Prosecutors say Ahern had been in the city's psychiatric center for more than a year when she was released on Thursday morning. They say she then went to a Macy's and purchased a knife for the attack. She was arraigned yesterday on multiple charges, including attempted murder, and she's now being held without bail. The mother and her baby, again, were visiting from California and are expected to be okay. The woman and her boyfriend are actually employees at the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department.
What? Wait, what was that last part that she just said? I got to hear that again.
Are expected to be okay. The woman and her boyfriend are actually employees at the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. The sheriff thanked the NYPD for quickly bringing the suspect into custody. The suspect is reportedly homeless, and this case is now bringing Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani's policy proposal of ending homeless encampment sweeps back into the spotlight, Josh.
KP, I got you. I got you, bro. I definitely need this today, huh? All right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to this, and it's a terrifying situation because it sounds as though there's no real connection here between the two. Have we heard if there's going to be really any type of news conference about this? Because I have to imagine that there's a lot of questions there from the public about how something like this could happen.
Josh, there are so many questions from people who are, New Yorkers and also people who are visiting. You come out here, it's freezing cold, as you can see, my eyes are running. You're just trying to enjoy the holiday season, the beautiful decorations, and again, some shopping. And you hear that a woman was randomly attacked inside one of the most iconic stores here in the Big Apple. People are really confused, and it's frankly quite terrifying. Again, we know this suspect was arraigned on multiple charges yesterday, including attempted murder, 2 counts of assault, criminal possession of a weapon, and endangering the welfare of a child. We aren't expecting...
Well, no fucking kidding. I mean, you did that while the mother was changing the baby's diaper. That's crazy.
To get any more updates over the weekend, but we do know the suspect is due back in court on December 17th. And if I didn't mention, she is being held without bail. But her attorney reportedly said during the court appearance yesterday that he will request...
That's right. Straight Jacket says it's actually not possible for New Yorkers to get stabbed. Stabbing is illegal. Right.
Bail during the next hearing. As I also talked about, Josh, the case really bringing back into spotlight some of Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani's proposals. He said instead of the homeless encampment sweeps, he wants to connect people on the streets with social workers and try to use those social workers to persuade people to get into permanent housing. And this week he doubled down on that idea despite pushback and criticism from both outgoing Mayor Eric Adams and New York Governor Kathy Hochul. This type of case, though, really prompting a lot of concern from people about how this idea to end sweeps might eventually carry over and cause some quality of life issues, because the suspect is said to be from Massachusetts, but once she got here to New York City, the thought is right now that she was homeless.
Wow.
CB Cotton.
I mean, none of that's actually surprising to me. Real quick, we got Carney's Ride in the building. By the way, if you guys haven't gone and subscribed to Carney's Ride, make sure you guys go do that. He's only like a handful away from 500 subscribers, so please go subscribe to our man. All right, we're going to move on, though. Breaking. So we're going to start off with the breaking news. There's going to be a lot of things talking about Brown University. Obviously, it's going to be discussed a lot today and throughout the media through, the weekend. Of course, it was talked about a lot. All these shootings were big talks, of course. So, Brown University reports active shooter on campus. We're going to go ahead and give you guys the breaking story on that, and then we'll give you guys updates as we go. Chronologically.
Thanks for being with us here on Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Christina Evans. We do have to bring you some breaking news. This comes from Providence, Rhode Island. Right now, we are hearing that there has been a shooting reported at Brown University. I do want to put up this live vantage point that we have there of some of the reaction that is now coming, and then the police response there to the area. As you can see in front of you, there are multiple police cars and other ambulances, as well as fire trucks now responding there to the scene. Again, this is in downtown Providence, Rhode Island at Brown University. So it is official that we have heard brief remarks there from the university as well. They put out a statement on their website. So I want to show that for you here on the screen, as this is, again, breaking news just now coming into our newsroom.
Here we go.
Saying that Brown University alert is that this is first urgent. There is an active shooter near Barris and Hawley Engineering. Lock your doors, silence phones, and stay hidden until further notice. Remember, run if you are in the affected location. Evacuate safely if you can. Hide. If evacuation is not possible, take cover. Fight. As a last resort, take action to protect yourself. Stay tuned for further safety information. And so this, again, is the statement that Brown University has since put out on their website. An alert sent out to all students there on campus as this reported active shooter.
Oh, looks like, it used to be Prospect Mike, but it looks like the former Prospect Mike has gotten promoted. He's up there with a full patch, I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing there.
Is there near the engineering building on campus. I want to take you back out, though, to
Congratulations.
the live vantage point that we have there in Providence, Rhode Island, as all of this is unfolding. Let's see if we can just listen into a little bit of the audio to hear how the scene is sounding. All right, there isn't much that's happening there as far as sirens. I was wondering if we were going to be able to hear some of those sirens of those first responders who were there on the scene. But again, this is just now coming in. This is breaking within the last 15 minutes or so. At this point, I do want to let you know we don't have any information on if anyone has been hurt in this. Police have not yet released any formal statements, but
which is crazy that they're like, yeah, we don't know if anyone got fucking hurt on this yet. All right, so this is the same statement that they told you in the very beginning there. Let's go and move on, though. because we have lots of updates on that. So Trump says he's been fully briefed on Brown University shooting, on what we were just talking about right there. And this is in chronological order here.
You're watching live now. I'm Austin Westfall. We continue to track developments in Providence, Rhode Island at Brown University. That mass shooting killing 2 people, injuring another 8. 8 people hospitalized in critical condition, but stable condition. We did hear from the president earlier.
I don't know. I have no idea who these fucking assholes are, Steve. They just come on here and troll. You know, that's the way it goes.
Today, he gave brief remarks about the situation at Brown. Here's what he said.
I've been fully briefed on the Brown University
So he is over there with Marine One.
situation, what a terrible thing it is. And all we can do right now is pray for the victims and for those that were very badly hurt, it looks like. And we'll inform you later as to what's happening, but it's a shame. It's a shame. Just pray. Thank you very much.
That was a very quick,
The
short and sweet right there.
Not taking any further questions. The time in Providence, 8:09. A live look above 1.
Okay, let's see what this update is from Congressman Gabe Ammo.
The loss of 2 lives is a tragedy. I am praying for the recovery of the victims in the hospital.
So it says, if you are on Brown University's campus or in the surrounding neighborhoods, please continue to shelter in place. This is an active situation. If you have any information, call 911. The loss of 2 lives is a tragedy. I am praying for the recovery of the victims at the hospital. So the guy's at large or what?
Live look at Capitol Hill.
Obviously.
Approaching 8:15 in the nation's capital. We've gotten reaction from lawmakers, from the president, from the vice president. Moments ago, I read you a lengthy statement from the university's president, Christina Paxson. She released a statement moments ago saying, "This is a deeply tragic day for Brown, our families, and our local community. There are truly no words that can express." Okay, so they're going to just talk about that. And right now, honestly, I only care about the facts of what's happening because we have so much information. Okay, so it sounds like that's all we're going to get from that. We're going to move on. Trump vows retaliation after 3 Americans were killed in Syria. As you guys know, over the weekend, there was some crazy shit where 3 of our soldiers in Syria were killed.
And right now, I do want to get you to a story that we have been following very closely. We brought this to you as breaking news, and we are learning more here as President Trump says, quote, "We will retaliate after 2 U.S. Army soldiers were killed during an ambush attack yesterday."
No, it's 3.
In Syria. We also know an interpreter was killed and several other people wounded in that ambush attack. Here's a brief comment from President Trump as he was leaving the White House just yesterday.
So we mourn the loss of 3 great patriots in Syria.
Okay, so we saw that, and remember, they fucked up on the audio here. They're tapping the mic and shit. These guys are fucking dumb as shit.
All about the situation as it was unfolding yesterday. Of course, you heard that he was asked about the situation in general and will likely make even more comments today on Live Now from Fox, so we'll bring those to you in full. There on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see Mark Chandler. He is the Director of Government Relations over at Coastal Carolina University, and he is also a former senior intelligence defense official as well as an author. Joining us now live to talk much more about the situation in general. Thank you so much, Mark, for taking the time to be here with us today.
You're welcome, Josh. Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Of course. And first off,
So when this was happening, it must have been reported as 2 and then updated in the title as 3 later when they found out, I'm guessing. Let's see. President Trump said Saturday that there will be very serious retaliation after 2 U.S. service members and 1 American civilian. Oh, okay. So 1 was an American civilian and 2 U.S. soldiers. Got you. Were killed in an attack in Syria that the United States blames on the Islamic State group. Interesting.
I want to start by asking your overall thoughts here as all of this information was developing. I mentioned you are a former senior defense intelligence official. Explain to me what's going through your mind as all of this is playing out and the details are developing there.
Well, one, it's a very fluid situation in times like this, Josh. So when we look at this, what we see that those forces were doing was actually part of the new U.S. strategy. It's a continued strategy, but it's kind of a new wrinkle.
That's right, Philip.
Trying to partner with the Syrian forces.
And by the way, we're going to be talking about that here in a minute, just so you know, Philip.
This patrol was on its way.
That's our next story.
What we call a key leader engagement. And when we talk about that, that's where we have U.S. forces partnering with host nation forces. In this case, it was Syrian forces in Palmyra. So this patrol was going there when they were ambushed by this ISIS operative. I want to call him an operative because that's exactly what he was. You know, he not turned by ISIS, but actually ISIS is still strong in this area. So this is one of the threats that
I really didn't know that they still hold some sort of strength over there, meaning ISIS and Syria. I didn't know that there was like that much of a presence of ISIS.
These forces face in a situation like that. I mean, they did kill the individual, but we lost 3 U.S. personnel and 3 were wounded and evacuated out. But that's part of what you see in an evolving strategy when we're trying to partner with the nation. And Syria still has a lot.
Yeah, unfortunately, Caveman, I'll be reporting that is one of our last updates for the morning. But Rob Reiner, wife found dead in Los Angeles home, both of them. That was just, let me see how long ago. 2 hours ago. All right, so anyways.
A lot of problems of cohesiveness. So it's a very dangerous mission in a situation like this.
And I wanted to ask you, because as I mentioned, we heard from President Trump as he was leaving the White House, and he was very clear, saying it several times that we will retaliate. What do you take from that? But also, I guess maybe more importantly, what are the concerns regarding potential escalation as a result?
Well, one thing is we can retaliate, and we will, as the president said. We've got several methods that we can use. We can use airstrikes right after the attack, and I think earlier today we've had a lot of aircraft flying over the area. So we're putting a strong presence there. All we have to do now is really increase our intelligence collection efforts. You know, the Middle East has kind of slipped a little bit in our priority in the focus since Israel-Hamas war and our attacks on Iran. You know, we kind of centered our focus elsewhere.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm talking about what the mainstream media, at least from my side that I'm looking at and using, 2 hours ago was put out. So are you that dense, homie?
We need to kind of reprioritize it a little bit. So we've got to increase our intelligence collection there, especially to support engagements like this. And as Syria has entered in a new strategic relationship with the United States. So we'll start collecting intelligence. I understand that earlier today or late last night, there were some arrests made. So we're starting to kind of chip away at that network, and it's a human-intensive operation, human intelligence. So we try to chip away at that network to really find out how deep this threat runs and dig further back into the ISIS threat that does remain rather strong inside Syria.
That was going to be my next question here.
Totally interesting with this whole, I mean, what do you guys see here? Do you guys see us doing some sort of operation back at these guys in Syria now? I mean, this is not gonna turn out well for any side, in my opinion here. This is not good. We got too much shit going on overseas, internationally. We need to fucking bring some shit home, bro. We got problems. All right, at least 11 killed, at least 11 killed in attack on Sydney Hanukkah event. As you guys know, that is the Bondi beach attack, as you guys, I'm sure, have seen on social media over the weekend, stuff like that. I'm sure you guys heard about this, but we're still going to go ahead and play what that was being reported at the time. So anyways, this is from yesterday as well.
And we are following another breaking news story this morning here on Live Now from Fox. This is a look at some of the video coming in out of Australia as 2 gunmen were shot dead.
What's up, Brother Wolfheim? I always appreciate that. He comes in with the 27 Swedish crown saying, Jazz Tobacco. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. You know the deal. You know the deal. Now, Charles, who also lives down in Australia, just said 15 are dead, plus one of the gunmen. Yes, I did hear about the one gunman that died. Now, it's crazy to me, the man that saved the day in that whole situation, he got on the back of the gunman, one of the gunmans, and got the gun off of the motherfucker, pointed the gun back at him, and didn't shoot. And you know what that man said? The reason why he did that was because he knew police were about to be there, and he didn't want, in his mind, in that quick thinking whole ordeal, he's like, well, I don't want to have a gun and me shoot, and then all of a sudden fucking the cops think I'm the shooter and they kill me, you know? So that's what his mindset at least was. But thank you for the update there, Charles.
At least 11 people were also shot and killed during a Jewish holiday celebration at Sydney's Bondi Beach. That is according to Australian authorities. They have declared it a terrorist attack. One gunman fatally shot by police.
Of course it's a terrorist attack.
and the second taken into custody. The suspect, we're told, in critical condition. Now, at least 29 people were confirmed wounded, including 2 police officers. Australia's prime minister declaring it, quote, an act of evil, anti-Semitism, terrorism that has struck the heart of our nation. And what you're looking at on your screen is actually some of the folks who actually witnessed this and did speak with some of the reporters there on the scene. But as you can see, a very active situation there, even at this hour. Right now.
So the shooters was father and son? No way.
I do want to bring in Cliff May.
I didn't know that.
Of the Foundation for Defense of Democracies to talk much more about all of this as it is developing. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us.
Good to be with you, Josh.
And I did want to start by asking you here just kind of your overall thoughts. You wake up and you start to read some of these details, and at first you hear there's been a mass shooting there at a Hanukkah event, and then you find out just the extent of it. Tell me what's going through your mind at that point.
What's going to my mind are all the reasons for the cognitive war, not just against Israel, but against Zionists, which means people who support Israel's right to exist, and against Jews. Really the firestorm of anti-Semitism, Jew hatred, call it what you will, that we've seen over the last couple of years after Israel began to defend itself from Hamas, which on October 7th, 2023.
These lawmakers and the people in power over there in Australia, I'm sorry, but those guys are fucking retards. Just like American fucking politicians, they're fucking retards too. But unfortunately, that is exactly what they're going to do. Well, let's make it even more strict for you get guns. Well, that doesn't fucking fix anything. Just so you know, it's not going to prevent anything.
He invaded Israel, staged a vicious, barbarian pogrom, including rapes, killing of children, killing of families. And then Israel the next day was attacked, of course, by Hezbollah from Lebanon. They began rocketing in. Before too long, the Houthis of Yemen began sending missiles at targets in Israel. And eventually, in April and October of 2024, we saw Iran send hundreds of drones and missiles against Israel. Most of those attacks were thwarted thanks to American and Israeli air defenses. Israel has fought a multi-front war for 2 years. Thanks to President Trump, a ceasefire came about last October. Hostages were released. But while the kinetic operations were generally successful, Hezbollah is very weak.
Yeah, no kidding, Wolfheim.
And Hamas is decimated. Iran no longer has a nuclear potential, at least for now, thanks to...
What's up, brother Hardwire? Great to see you in the chat, my man. Happy Monday.
President Trump sending in B-2s with massive ordnance penetrators.
What's up, Ghost?
And nonetheless, there was also this, what I call the cognitive war against Israel. And again, it stretches not just to Israelis, but to those who support their right to exist, and certainly to Jews everywhere. And this is a great example of it because this was a Hanukkah celebration. This is a holiday. It had nothing to do really with Israel, except this. Hanukkah is about attacks over 1,000 years ago. Excuse me, I don't know the exact dates, but I should, by an empire in places like Syria and places like Iraq against the Jewish state back then.
Okay, homie, we get that. We already know all the history. I mean, we talk about Israel over here all the time. We don't need to go in depth of any of that, really, honestly. Let's go ahead and see if there's any other update from this segment. Here we go. There is. Here's the Prime Minister.
Miss them. I do want to play them for you here on Live Now from Fox.
As a nation, you should never have to endure the loss that you have suffered today. You should never know the fear that you know tonight. We will dedicate every resource required to making sure you are safe and protected. You are Australian, and all Australians are with you today and every day. My fellow Australians, I say tonight that there are nights that tear at our nation's soul. In this moment of darkness, we must be each other's light. Hold on to the true character of the country that we love. Australia is stronger than the cowards who attack.
Hell yeah, Philip. I very much appreciate that. And by the way, we have, let's see, we got over 100 of you guys in here. Make sure you guys double tap that screen if you guys are on the vertical side. Hit that like button if you're on the horizontal. I very much appreciate you guys very much.
Innocent people today. Australia is braver than those who seek to make us afraid. Australia will never submit to division, violence or hatred. We will see justice done and we will come through this together. I'd ask Acting Deputy Commissioner Reiner to make some comments and then Director General Burgess.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Firstly, our thoughts go out to the families and communities that have been affected by this senseless attack today. The AFP stands next to the New South Wales Police and with ASIO in our joint counter-terrorism arrangements. And we'll put all resources we can, all our specialist powers, all our specialist resources towards ensuring that this matter is investigated as thoroughly as possible. In relation to the Joint Counter-Terrorism Team, we have heard that there has been a declaration of a terrorist incident.
Real quick, we got Brother Sterling Wheel in the building and also gifting out a membership. I very much appreciate that. Thank you very much. It not only helps me, but someone in the Breakfast Club, man. I very much appreciate that.
Will enable the AFP,
Good morning,
along with ASIO and New South Wales Police, to use specialist powers in relation to this investigation. I don't wish to speculate in relation to any of the information that is currently known. This matter is ongoing. It is in its early stages, and we will continue to work with New South Wales Police to ensure that it's investigated as best as possible. Thank you.
Thanks, Nigel. Thanks, Pierre. ASIO was also a member of the Joint Counter-Terrorism Team, and our principal role at this stage is to support the police in their ongoing investigation. But at the same time, as is standard practice for us, we are looking at the identities of the attackers, and where that is known, we're looking to see if there's anyone in the community that has similar intent. It's important to stress at this point we have no indications to that fact, but that is something we have active investigations on. The national terrorism threat level remains at probable. I don't see that changing at this stage. Probable means there is a 50% chance of an act of terror, and unfortunately we've seen that horrific act occur tonight in Australia. Thank you.
A few questions. Charles?
Prime Minister, you've called this terror. Are you aware of any other terror threats at the moment? And what's your message to Jewish Australians who may not feel safe in Australia tonight?
My message to Jewish Australians is that your fellow Australians stand with you tonight in condemning this act of terror, in condemning this outrage. I've had a number of conversations with people tonight. One of the Jewish community leaders said to me that we know where anti-Semitism leads, that it leads to an attack on everyone, not just Jewish Australians. And this attack at Bondi Beach, of all places, a place of celebration, a place...
What's up, Trigger Warning? Great to see you, by the way. Yes, by the way, I mean, the Australian, army or military, whatever the case is, I mean, lost against the emus, man, and they must be some powerful birds, man.
Where people, particularly in Sydney, but from all over the world, come to enjoy each other's company and to, in this case, at the Bondi Pavilion there. I'm very familiar with that pavilion. This senseless attack is one which is an act of terror. It is aimed at creating fear. But we will stand with the Jewish community and Jewish Australians at this time.
Prime Minister, in light of this attack, is the government going to move on any of the recommendations in the Special Envoy's report on anti-Semitism in Australia?
Yeah, we're continuing to work on all of those issues.
Okay, so we're not going to get anything more from this press release, but I did want to get at least that information out there. This is what we do here, obviously. All right, so we're going to talk about Schumer real quick. Schumer demands action on AI price gouging. Now, what kind of action are you going to do? I mean, I just don't understand what these guys' plan with AI is. It's really interesting to watch these guys. So anyways, real quick, let's get the money part.
All right, just get the money part done.
Give me money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
Shit.
Oh my God.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. Let's do this.
In fact, we see him walking up to the podium right now. Let's listen in.
Okay. Is this good or is this too loud? It's good?
What's up, brother sick bastard? Yes, sir. Saying like, share, like, sub, share, and donate. Yes, sir.
Okay, so first I'm going to, of course, talk about Instacart and they're ripping off the consumer. And then, of course, I'm going to say a few words about the terrible shooting in Sydney.
That's right, Doomerang.
Okay. So, and first, of course, as I always say, no matter what, go Bills. They beat the Patriots today. It's a big deal. Okay, so look, we're here today to shed light on a really shady practice. We're here today to shed light on a really shady price shakedown happening at grocery store checkouts throughout New York, Long Island, and the nation. I'm talking about Instacart. Instacart uses artificial intelligence to rip off consumers by charging different shoppers different prices for the exact same item. Today, I'm sounding the alarm on this type of price gouging, demanding new action of the FTC to look into this practice, and if they find it anti-consumer, which I'm sure they will, to stop it. Let me explain what's going on.
That's right, brother Pablo. Good morning to you. Great to see you in the chat.
Because the shopper is being shaken down by Instacart. This is how it works. A shopper goes online to fill in their order cart with groceries. Let's say they're looking for bread, milk, and eggs. Artificial intelligence will decide that shopper number 1 pays $10 for those items, and shopper number 2 pays $15 for the same exact item. They're the exact same item at different prices for different consumers, all decided by a robot. And the robot looks into who can afford to pay more, who can I rip off, who's less knowledgeable about prices. It's gross. It's a new way of ripping off consumers using artificial intelligence. It's creepy, it's costly, it demands crackdown. Even the Instacart CEO said, let me tell you what he said, AI helps retailers dynamically optimize their pricing both online and in-store to really figure out which
So what are you going to do with it? Like, what is the plan?
Categories of product the customer is more sensitive on versus less price sensitive, and really adjust their prices based on that information. They're saying if you're gullible, if you don't compare, maybe you don't, maybe you're poor, I'm going to Instacart charges you, tells the supermarket.
I swear to God, these guys just love to sit there and complain and then not give you a solution. They just whine. They just fucking whine over it.
A few moments later.
What to charge, and Instacart charges you more. When you read what these executives are saying, it's clear their North Star is not consumer protection. It's squeezing the consumer for as many dollars as they can, leaving the consumer with less money to buy more food or other items. Instacart is focused exclusively on profits, and that's why the Federal Trade Commission must take a deep dive.
That's right, Joe.
Into what they're doing, and then, you want to shut that off? Oh. Okay. A little
what the
late.
fuck? What is happening?
Instacart is ripping off consumers from one end of our community to the other. Instacart, if you go on Instacart,
Yeah, I don't know what happened to a free market, bro. Very, very strange. It's typical big government, only the people we allowed to make money off of this. That you have to be in with us to make money off of this kind of thing. Real quick, we got Kel up there in Canada. Good morning to you. Great to see you. And yeah, trigger warning says invest in AI. Check. Yeah, no fucking kidding. All right.
Will determine what the price is, and they charge different prices for the same item to different consumers. If they think you're gullible, they may charge you $15 for milk, eggs, and bread, and they'll charge another consumer $10 or $20 for the exact same item. That's what Instacart does. Just this morning, there's a new price report out on.
So what are you trying to do? Ban it? Like, can you please just get to it? I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here.
Something very clear. Grocery prices have not gone down as Trump says they have. They have gone up and up and up. And anyone who shops.
And that is facts. And people think, oh, when they're talking about the, interest and all this stuff is coming down and our rate of inflation is a little bit down, which is true, but that doesn't mean anything is getting cheaper. That means the rate of how fast things are going up in price, that's the difference. The rate of how fast it's going to go up is slowing down a little bit. But that's what's being referenced in those kind of things. So having context of economics is a good thing.
Every week in the supermarket knows that damn well. What they may not know is part of the reason prices are going up. What people may not know is part of the reason prices are going up is Instacart, which perpetuates this ripoff, saying they will look at each consumer using artificial intelligence.
What's up, Extra Surprise? Great to see you, by the way.
And try to maximize the price out of each consumer, that they charge each consumer. Different prices for the same goods for different people. Okay? So this is something that the FTC must stop. Companies like Instacart know that this administration leans to profits, not people. And so it's the wild, wild west for artificial intelligence on pricing, where each person pays a different price for the exact same thing. Look,
I look at these kind of things as, very simple. You allow a free market to decide this, people, you can advocate and say, don't use these guys, fuck them, because these guys are ripping you off. Yeah, you can do that. But then to like get involved in, I'm just someone that is like, okay, for instance, a YouTube channel. You don't like what the fuck you're watching? Just move on. Just move on. If you think this YouTube channel is a complete failure, just move on. You know what I mean? Let the market figure that out. And the market is telling me that we're doing just fine.
Every beep
right?
beep at the grocery counter is a 1-2 punch to the gut of consumers when Instacart is running the show. And that's what we're fighting for today, a complete investigation. All right? Did I leave out anything? Did I leave out anything? No? Okay. So now on a more, should we do questions? Any questions on Instacart?
They're saying artificial intelligence, but it's like at some point it's like, where does, racism...
So what? Oh my God, now someone's asking about something about racism? What?
At some point it's like, where does, racism or any type of discrimination...
Since Instacart is not being investigated, we don't know, but it may well be.
Oh my goodness. How fucking reckless.
Could easily say they're charging black shoppers more.
Get out of here, dude. Okay, this is such cap.
Stop the cap.
I can't stand these idiots. I was willing to sit there and just let him speak but I just can't fucking with the bullshit, bro.
Bruh.
Fuck these people. All right, so we're gonna move on. Person of interest in custody after Brown University shooting investigation continues here. So let's go ahead and bring this up. We'll talk about it briefly. There we go.
Thanks for joining us on Live Now from Fox. I'm Shauna Kalafi. I will be with you here for the next few hours with lots of news to cover on this tragic weekend. We've had 2 deadly shootings across the world. People are mourning tonight. We're starting off in Providence, Rhode Island, with that shooting at Brown University yesterday. Officials say 2 students are dead, 8 in critical condition tonight, and a person of interest has been taken into custody. We got this post from FBI Director Kash Patel on X. He said, an update on the FBI response at Brown University. FBI Boston established a command post to intake, develop, and analyze leads and run them to ground. We activated the FBI's cellular analysis survey team to provide critical geolocation capabilities. And as a result, early this morning, FBI Boston's Safe Streets Task Force, with assistance from the U.S. Marshals and Coventry, Rhode Island PD, detained a person of interest in a hotel room in Coventry, Rhode Island, based off a lead by Providence, Rhode Island police. We have deployed local and national resources to process and reconstruct the shooting scene, providing HQ and lab elements on scene. We set up a digital media intake portal to ingest images and video from the public related to this incident, and the FBI's victim specialists are fully integrating with our partners to provide resources to victims and survivors of this horrific violence. This FBI will continue on all-out 24/7 campaign until justice is fully served, thanks to the men and women of the FBI and our partners for their continued teamwork. Please praying for the...
So they have a person of interest. Are they going to release any photo of the guy? Anywhere in this? No. But they do show one part of one security camera from the street. And I remember that was one of the first videos that came out regarding this whole thing. The Brown University shooting. And that's the one and only thing I actually think I saw on Brown University. That's right. There was only one specific thing, and it's shown at the end here. And that's like the person that is suspected to do this crime. But that's all we have. And that video that you'll see at the end really doesn't show him at all. He's like 100% covered up. Real quick, we got brother Lee Lance coming in with the $2 on the Cash App saying much love, honor, respect. Mr. Ball, my man, I very much appreciate you. Dues are absolutely paid. I very much appreciate that.
Victims and their families, as well as those at Brown University. We want to bring in a law enforcement expert, Jamie Copenhaver. Thank you for being here with us today.
Don, it's good to be with you. Thank you.
Yeah, so a very tragic situation at Brown, and now this morning, more than 12 hours later, we learned that a person of interest was taken into custody. So we want to get your expertise on how this investigation goes for law enforcement. So when there is a active shooter, a mass shooting possibly situation reported, what are the first steps that law enforcement takes? And then when it's on campus at a school, how does that play into their approach?
Well, we saw that.
Shit, Dean, I really didn't see in Cali. No, I didn't see that.
Play out in live TV last night on
Recently?
Those officers arrived very fast, set up a cordon around the school. They didn't allow anyone off or onto campus, so they
Oh, shit. And Papa Penguin is saying, no, they grabbed the wrong dude. He was picked up based off of the cell phone tower pings, evidence pointed elsewhere. Wow.
Possible. The Telegraph, the takeaway from last night was they kept those students and faculty locked down for 12 hours or so. And I'll have to give kudos to the police for doing that. They didn't want to take a chance after dark to escort these students and faculty out, not knowing where the shooter was. So they did an excellent job on holding those members of the school in a lockdown, if you will. And then we eventually saw a video of an image of a male. We don't know what ethnicity he was at, but we saw this video of the male running down the sidewalk. So I can rest assured, knowing the FBI, like I know the FBI, that's where they stepped up. They used their Safe Streets team to capture that data from off of any cell devices, and eventually was able, in my opinion, to tie it to the bad guy or the shooter in this case.
And a lot of people were wondering what took so long for them to get somebody in custody. We did learn that this person of interest is a man in his 20s.
So this person of interest, Papa Penguin, you're saying the person of interest that did they say they scooped him up and then they let him go, or what's the deal?
And he was arrested at a hotel actually 20 miles away.
Real quick, TVT up there in Canada, by the way, sends us 5 spots saying, dues for Mikey B. Yes, sir. I very much appreciate that. Very much appreciate that. Thank you for making it rain. Yes, sir. Let's go.
From the university. So how would he be able to get so far during such a massive manhunt, and what are some of the strategies that police might use to track him down?
The police, like I just said, they did a very good job on a coordinate around that school, not allowing anyone off or on. But here's the deal. As you're arriving to that active shooter, you're going to have mass chaos. We saw that firsthand yesterday around 4:30 when this started. So unfortunately, the bad guy was able to slip out of that perimeter before it was completely set up. And
that's the video.
Start, if you will, on the police and law enforcement to get out of the area. We just don't know if he had a car nearby, if he had a drive.
That's the only little bit of video that they put out on this guy. That's it. You couldn't see shit.
Law enforcement's not giving us a lot of details, rightly so, right? We don't know if there's someone else involved that may have...
Yeah, Kel, I actually watched the video footage of the actual attack. And then the fight, getting those two to fucking stop, obviously. It was wild to watch. Philip says, Mike, your commentary is good. Man, I very much appreciate that, man. Listen, you know what we do over here? We just embrace our fuck-ups. That's what
beat yourself up over past mistakes. You are going to fuck up again in the future, quite possibly in a most spectacular fashion. Why worry about yesterday's fuck-ups when you have tomorrow's fuck-ups to look forward to? You are a fuck-up, and fucking up is part of your growth process. Embrace the process.
Shit.
Driven or picked him up from the scene. So all of that will be announced later, but unfortunately, this guy got out before the cordon was set up by law enforcement around the college.
And police did say today that they're not searching for anybody else in this case. They also have not released any information on a possible motive. They declined to say whether the person of interest had connections to Brown University. How does that phase of the investigation go when trying to determine
what's up, Panelverse?
A motive in this case?
Good morning.
Yeah, we've heard it play out. They're going to do search warrants on any devices. So they're looking for data, metadata. They're going to conduct search warrants at residences occupied or associated by the shooter. And rest assured, they're going to search that hotel, which I'm sure they already have, to look.
Well, of course.
Any manifesto, any notes, or any.
I would assume that everything's been searched at this point.
Devices that would indicate what or why he did this, but more importantly, how long had he planned to do that?
Well, we've got to figure out. Fuck the planning shit right now. I just want to figure out what the motive of it was first. And also, I'd like to see a picture of the guy, but unfortunately, they don't put out any other information. So we're gonna go ahead and move on though. So you guys may have heard on Friday, I think, or Saturday, something like that. I think it was Friday. There was talk about Trump could possibly be signing an executive order as early as Monday, which is today, regarding cannabis, and cannabis being going from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3. So it would be now treated like any other pharmaceutical. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and talk about that briefly. Let's go ahead and bring this up. Cannabis stocks surge after reports that Trump may reclassify the drug this week.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. I'm Shauna Kalafi. Cannabis stocks are skyrocketing amid reports that President Trump may reclassify the drug with an executive order maybe as soon as Monday. Now we have this tweet from the Washington Post. They were the ones that reported this on Thursday. They said, breaking news, President Trump is expected to push the government to significantly ease federal marijuana restrictions, treating the plant and its derivatives like common prescription painkillers and other drugs. Now, on Thursday, the Washington Post made that report. They say that President Trump plans to direct agencies to reclassify marijuana as a Schedule 3 drug. Again, that is the same as some prescription painkillers. And following these reports, shares of cannabis companies jumped on Friday. We're joined now by Mackenzie Tatanani, who covers financial news and market trends.
Is she actually straight? Are you being for real?
For Barron's. Thank you so much for being here.
Shauna, thank you for having me. It's great to be on.
So Mackenzie,
I see what you're talking. You're talking about Shauna over here.
Exactly. Have we seen from these cannabis company stocks in the last few days, and what kind of jump are we talking about here?
So I covered these stocks mostly on Friday, and we saw very, very sharp reactions to what was essentially a lot of unconfirmed news, to use a word that sounds fairly strong, but we were seeing different outlets reporting different things with regard to this potential timeline for some action to be taken regarding the reclassification of marijuana at the federal level. Some outlets were indicating this could be sometime in early 2026. We had others saying that there could be an executive order from President Trump as soon as Monday. So regardless of what that unclear timeline might shake out to be, stocks jumped on that.
Man, if you guys pass me a joint, by the way, like this, and it's like fucking running on half of it, and it's all, you can overheat your fucking joints, by the way, okay? And then you ruin your fucking smoke. Don't ever pass me my shit back like this, okay? I'm just warning you.
Jumped on that news. As of the market close on Friday, some of the names that I was following for reference, 2 cannabis companies, 1 real estate investment trust, which is it related to the cannabis industry in that realm, and then 2 exchange traded funds, which are essentially a basket of stocks linked to that industry. 2 of the stocks that I followed, Tilray Brands and Canopy Growth, closed up 44% and 54% respectively.
Interesting. I don't own any cannabis stock, so
very, very sharp percentage gains. Those 2 ETFs, I think, are worth noting. The Amplify Seymour Cannabis ETF.
It must be very specific marijuana stocks and shit like that.
Which trades under the ticker CNBS or cannabis, closed up 55%.
Cannabis stock, I mean.
And the Advisor Shares Pure US Cannabis ETF closed up 54%. In both those cases, that was the largest single day percent gain on record. So what we were saying was very, very clear enthusiasm from investors in this industry who are essentially waiting for the next big stock catalyst. And they're seeing this as, no matter when this ends up happening, that is what it's going to be, essentially a big.
Yeah, Philip, that's crazy because like somewhere in California, like for instance, I was born and raised in Southern California, and you can get weed there basically, I mean, it's unrestricted to the level of it's just, you can basically get whatever the fuck you want. It's a recreational drug over there. And you could just smoke it, right? It's interesting when you have a free market like that, how cheap the product actually gets. I mean, you can get like ounces for like 30, 40, 50 bucks. That's a lot of product for 30, 40, 50 bucks. You know what I mean? So anyways.
Catalyst for these shares.
And the White House has said that no final decision has been made in terms of reclassifying cannabis. But historically, what kind of movement have we seen in the market for the cannabis industry as new legislation has come out since legalization several years ago in many states? Have there been other jumps like this that we've seen in the cannabis industry?
Yeah, no kidding, Papa Penguin. That is fucking hysterical. I got to read this out loud. He says, that works out. I don't smoke, but I own stock. You smoke it, but don't own stock. Balances out. Thank you for making me look like a full-blown retard. I very much appreciate that, kind sir.
So I noted in my coverage, I was taking a bit more of what seemed like possibly a more cautious approach to this news. And that is because we have seen a similar reaction from these stocks before. And that was back in August when President Trump indicated that he told reporters sometime in the next coming few weeks, there could be some kind of decision made. He said he was weighing the pros and cons of how marijuana was regulated. And indicated there might be some kind of decision in the coming weeks, which didn't ultimately pan out. But at the time, we saw similarly sharp double-digit percentage gains for Tilray Brands, Canopy Growth, these other stocks that I mentioned. And there are some other names that I didn't necessarily follow on Friday that are other ways to kind of gain exposure to this industry. Names like Curaleaf, Cresco Labs, Green Thumb Industries. These are
so look up those companies that she just said there. Let me back it up.
To this industry, names like Curaleaf, Cresco
Labs,
Green Thumb Industries. These are stocks that anytime there is some kind of indication that there could be a shift at the regulatory level, especially the federal level, they
interesting.
tend to jump following that kind of news.
Okay, so I mean those specific ones that she just named, I guess those are the ones to watch when big shifts happen. They're the first ones to react, essentially. Interesting. Okay, we're going to move on. We do have an update on the Brown University shooting. Person of interest is released. So let's go and bring this up. And remember how I think it was Papa Penguin saying the guy got released. The suspect that they had, the person of interest, was the wrong guy.
You're taking a live look there at Brown University this morning. As we continue to bring you this breaking news, as I just shared here, we are learning a person of interest detained after this shooting that killed 2 students and injured 9 now will be released after law enforcement authorities determined there was no basis to keep the individual in custody. Again, the release.
Be safe out there, Naomi. Always appreciate you.
Of this person of interest leaves law enforcement without any known suspect at this time. To discuss further, I want to bring in Scott Duffy to join us here on the show, retired FBI agent. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us here this morning. We appreciate it.
Yes, good morning, Christine.
Well, let's start off with this breaking news now that this person is going to be released and there's still no leads here as of right now. Where does all of this go from here? What does this mean for the investigation?
Yeah, so this goes back to ground zero. So a person of interest, a suspect, whatever you want to call this individual, it was something that law enforcement was drawn to. There was...
Shit, Papa, I bet you that's probably true because it was so liberal back then and now it got pretty hardcore regarding marijuana.
Enough to be able to bring them,
the legislation
that
side.
Is law enforcement, to the footsteps of this individual's what is believed to be a hotel room. It is from there that you have to develop the evidence to connect whatever brought law enforcement to this person in the first place to the scene of the crime, whether it be the weapon, particular clothing that would fit the description depicted on the surveillance video, an interview and subsequent confession. Those things obviously were missing. Law enforcement did not have enough probable cause to hold this individual anymore.
Wow. So they probably got limited on the time because you can only hold people for so much time. And I don't know what that number is, actually. I should know that number, but I don't. I'm sure someone in the chat knows.
And so with subsequent brings law enforcement back to ground zero. This is a homicide investigation. It is a whodunit, and they are scouring everything, not only the evidence that was collected at the scene, but all the digital forensic evidence.
Yes, sir, Steve Posey. Great to see you in the chat, bro. Good morning and happy Monday.
That still is yet to be completed.
And I want to go off of that, Scott. I'm showing some of that surveillance video on our screen here because officials are, again, pledging to redouble their efforts in this investigation. And they said they're going to be canvassing for video surveillance that could help pinpoint the killer's identity. How much of a role is this really going to play here? What can they really determine from this video in terms of finding this person?
Yeah, so just from that video that we're watching now, yes, you can gather pieces of information, but you want additional information. So Ring cameras or additional business, CCTV cameras, to be able to uncover this face, right? Just as we saw in the Luigi Mangione, it was covered. And then as law enforcement continued to scour
very interesting, Papa,
the city with regards to where was this individual before, during, and after, they were able to find additional surveillance video that was very telling, not only of the individual's face, but a false ID that was provided. So that's what they'll be doing here in lieu of something, a tip or something else that brings law enforcement to yet another.
So it says authorities say they will release the person of interest detained in Brown University shooting that killed 2 and wounded 9. Wow, and wounded 9 people. Fuck. What was the motive, bro? Like, I that's something that I'd really like to eventually find out. Of course, we're not going to find that out right now because no one knows. So, all right. So our very last update or story here is regarding Rob. Rob Reiner and wife is found dead in their Los Angeles home. What the fuck, man? All right, let's go and bring this up. And while this is presenting itself, I'm going to be looking in the background for who to raid. We'll see who's live right now.
We are learning actor and director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle Reiner have died. The Reiners were found dead Sunday at a Brentwood, California home. Captain Mike Bland with the Los Angeles Police Department said authorities were investigating an apparent homicide. The Los Angeles Fire Department said it responded to a medical aid request shortly after 3:30 p.m. Investigators believe they suffered stab wounds and a family member is being questioned. Los Angeles Fire Department officials responded to a home on Chadbourne Avenue where the 2 bodies were discovered. The LAFD said the bodies of a 78-year-old man and 68-year-old woman were found inside the home.
Brutal.
Circumstances surrounding the deaths are not known at this time.
Really?
I wanted to put up this post here from Mayor Karen Bass, and here's what she has to say.
Well, what's going on?
This is a devastating loss for our city.
I thought we were going to hear something.
And our country. Rob Reiner's contributions reverberate throughout American culture and society, and he has improved countless lives through his creative work and advocacy, fighting for social and economic justice. An acclaimed actor, director, producer, writer, and engaged political activist, he always used his gifts in service of others. Personally, I am heartbroken by the tragic loss of Rob and his wife, Michelle.
That's right, Cal in Canada. That's right.
I knew Rob and have tremendous respect for him.
Spinal Tap was
among his
awesome.
numerous contributions, Rob helped create First 5 California, a landmark initiative funded by a tobacco tax to support early childhood development programs. He and Michelle fought for early childhood development and marriage equality, working to overturn Proposition 8. They were true champions for LGBTQ plus rights.
Real quick, Steve Posey says, wasn't Rob Reiner meathead on All in the Family? Yes, he is, and will be forever known as Meathead, which is hilarious.
I want to thank all of the first responders who were called to this tragic event. The investigation is ongoing. I'm holding all who love Rob and Michelle in my heart. Reiner was long one of the most prolific directors in Hollywood, and his work included some of the most memorable movies of the 1980s and 90s, including A Few Good Men, When Harry Met Sally, and The Princess Bride. The son of comedy legend Carl Reiner, Rob Reiner was married to photographer Michelle since 1989. The two met while he was directing When Harry Met Sally, and they have 3 children together. So once again, this live look here coming out of Los Angeles, California. This is from our Fox LA team out there. As we continue to follow.
Like, I wish they would at least be like, okay, we don't know the motive or who did whatever, but at least tell us, like, okay, the person got shot or the person got strangled, something, you know, like, is there any evidence? What is it? You know, I'm sure there is, obviously.
This story. Once again, Fox News putting out this post here saying Hollywood icon Rob Reiner, who rose to fame on All in the Family before becoming a celebrated director of classic movies, has died at the age of 78. He and his wife Michelle were discovered dead in their Brentwood, California home on Sunday. Los Angeles police currently investigating. We'll continue.
Brutal. And of course, we will continue to follow all of these stories. That's what we always do. Monday through Friday, this is what we do, man. We condense everything most of the time into an hour, and today we ran, an hour and 9 minutes. Oh, well, it's pretty good. We still condensed it. Listen, much love, honor, and respect to all of you legends. I'm very honored to be able to do this. And listen, man, we're going to be back tomorrow morning for more of the World's Menace, of course. Stick around. We're going to be raiding you guys over to my buddy Black Dragon. Make sure you guys go over there and let him know we're coming through with the Mike Ball raid. That's what we do. We get down with our bad self. All right. Much love, honor, respect to all of you legends. And God bless everyone. We'll see you guys very soon.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning. submit.